Welcome back. As you know, I'm Eli the Computer Guy here for the Daily Blog, where I shake my brain nips every day to get some of that dirty YouTube money so I can afford to provide you folks in-person hands-on technology education in Durham, North Carolina. So Silicon Dojo, silicondojo.com. We're doing a class on AI and SQL coming up next week. We're doing a class on AI and web scraping coming up on November 19th. If you're interested, go to silicondojo.com. Do you remember free to the user is not free? That's why I shake my brain nips. If you'd like to throw some money, to support the project, there's a donor box link down below. And oh my, is there nothing that AI won't fuck up? Is there nothing that the syphilitic bastards in Silicon Valley will not screw up for the rest of the world? This is kind of one of those things, like once you see the headline, you're like, oh yeah, that's a no-brainer. It's like one of those no-brainers you don't think about till you see the headline, and you're like, oh, yeah, fuck, that's bad. That's bad. So one of the things with these whole AI projects, right, is they want to hyperscale everything. God knows why, right? Sam Altman wants to spend $4 trillion in CapEx expenses in order to build data centers just for OpenAI. $4 trillion for data centers for OpenAI alone. XAI is expanding. Anthropic is expanding, right? Saudi Arabia is putting in massive data centers, right? Everybody's putting in massive data centers. And the funny thing is, like when we talk about these data centers, right? Most of the time we're talking about GPUs. Generally NVIDIA. Every once in a while you talk about AMD or one of the other companies, right? Then when you get past that, then you start talking about inference. So you're talking about things like Google TPUs. We talk about this company called Grok, ASICs, these special type of processors that do specific tasks, and you talk about, that type of thing. And then you go past that, maybe you start talking about HBM, high bandwidth memory. And this is basically as the LLMs are doing their things, they need a place basically for storage that's incredibly fast. So you might every once in a while talk about things like HBMs, and then past that you might talk about things like network infrastructure or whatever for when you cluster like NVIDIA systems, right? But then that's kind of about the end of the story, right? It's curious. You don't really talk about the rest of the hardware. You don't talk about, think about this, you don't really talk about server cases. Right, think about it. $4 trillion in CapEx expenses alone for OpenAI's data centers. Here's a question. How many server cases is that? How many power supplies is that? More importantly, how much DRAM is that, right? So many times when we talk about RAM, we talk about VRAM, right? VRAM goes on the GPUs, incredibly fast. RAM, you connect it directly to the GPU, so it can do all the AI calculations. But, the computer itself also needs RAM, right? The operating system needs RAM. All the other processes that go on need RAM, right? And so, if you're building $4 trillion in data centers, how much DRAM do you need? And then what does that do to the DRAM market? And apparently, as with everything else, it fucks it. It fucks it really goddamn hard. So anyways, this is coming from Tom's Hardware. Server DRAM prices surge up to 50% as AI-induced memory shortage hits hyperscaler supply. U.S. and Chinese customers only getting 70% of order fulfillment. So I think this is the interesting thing, right? When we see that prices go up by 50%, something's going to happen, right? Again, macro forces, market, whatever. What becomes more interesting is the whole idea of even if you can swipe the credit card, right? So I call it a credit card problem, right? You know what the issue is. You know the part you need, or you know the software license you need. The only question is, are you going to pay for it, right? That's it, right? I call that a credit card problem. I mean, it's a problem, but basically as soon as you swipe the credit card, problem goes away. At least that problem goes away. The bigger problem that you run into is what happens if no amount of money will get you a product. Like literally, there are just production bottlenecks, and basically, regardless what you do, you could be willing to spend $1 million on 16 gigs of RAM or whatever else. You just can't get your hands on it. I think this is a curious thing, and so that's where they're talking now. Only 70% order fulfillment. So major companies are ordering, how much they need, and they're only getting 2/3 of what it is that they need, which will be an interesting thing to be looking at with the bottlenecks and all that kind of stuff, especially with everything going on with China right now. So everything going on between China and the United States and Europe, South Korea and Japan, right? And DRAM, a lot of these electronic products, these really are cross-border things. So if it's this bad now, how much worse will it get? The DRAM supply chain is choking, and server memory is taking the first hit, according to DigiTimes. Major U.S. and Chinese hyperscalers are now receiving just 70% of the server DRAM they order. That's despite agreeing to contract price increases up to 50% for Q4, well above the 30% hike many buyers have budgeted for earlier this year. So they're willing to spend 50% more on DRAM, but they can still only get their hands on 2/3 of the amount they actually need. HBM, that gets the headlines, demand for conventional DDR5 DIMMs is also outpacing supply. So, with, again, HBM, when we talk about that, that's called high bandwidth memory. So normally we're talking about artificial intelligence applications. That's one of the pieces of hardware that's required. But the thing is, right, that's basically for the GPUs, that type of deal. But the server itself still needs RAM, right? Particularly at advanced nodes where Samsung and SK Hynix have diverted capacity towards parts bound for AI acceleration. Samsung's recent price adjustments confirm the reprioritization, and the company having raised server SSD prices by up to 35% and R&M contract rates by up to as much as 50%, citing sustained demand from enterprise and cloud customers. What's left is a market where even the largest buyers can't secure enough memory. Spot prices have surged since late September, and several top-tier suppliers are reportedly refusing to quote October allocations. DDR5 16 gig modules that traded at $7 to $8 last month are now hovering around $13, with availability tightening further into November. Module makers are bracing for out-of-stock situations by the end of the quarter. The rest of the market fares worse. Channel players and smaller OEMs are seeing order fulfillment rates closer to 35 to 40%. And do remember, again, when you're talking about hardware, it is rather an all or nothing type deal. Right? It doesn't matter how good the processor you have is. Doesn't matter how good the motherboard is. Doesn't matter how good the case and the power supply is. If you don't have RAM to put into the computer, you still don't have a computer. You have a bunch of parts that have been assembled that are not a computer. So if OEMs are only seeing their order fulfillment for RAM at 35 to 40%, that literally means that is limiting what they're able to ship out the door as finished products. With hyperscalers locking in fixed allocations, lower priority customers are pushed to the spot market or told to wait until capacity opens up in 2026. So as I said, as I'm doing this video, it's the end of October. So 2026 is at least 2 months away. And if they're saying until it opens up in 2026, that's months and months and months away. Imagine these OEMs that are now looking at months of limited supplies for things like RAM. Micron warned of this in its most recent earnings call, telling investors that DRAM is a, quote, tight industry and that bit supply growth will lag demand through the end of next year. TrendForce also flagged a potential quote freeze across certain modules as suppliers shift to day-to-day pricing in China and avoid locking themselves into bad deals. So basically, you know how you go to like Newegg or whatever, you go to something and you expect the price to basically be the same for the most part. Basically now with China, when they're selling these chips, is day-to-day pricing. Today, the price is going to be $15. Tomorrow might be $18. The day after, it might be $13. The curious thing, again, as I talk about with the economy and all the crap going on with the economy, think about the uncertainty that this is putting into the economy, right? All of these OEMs, anybody who assembles computers, they are now looking at getting 70% or less of their RAM allocations. The allocation that they do get is going to be at least 50% more. They don't know what they're going to be paying on a day-to-day basis. That's before we get into whether or not there's going to be 100% tariffs on China and the rest of it. Think about what this does to a CEO. This is causing retail DDR5 prices to creep upward with no sign of stabilization before year's end. DDR4, meanwhile, is in slow decline. China's Nanya Technology recently said standard DDR4 makes up just 20% of the total DRAM market, and it's no longer being prioritized for volume production. Unless demand unexpectedly cools or yields improve sharply, DRAM allocation for everyone outside the top buyers will be constrained into 2026. So there you go. There you go. Just when you think AI hasn't screwed up everything, don't worry, I'm here. I'm here to show you how AI has in fact screwed up everything, including whether or not you can get that RAM module to slot into your server or into your computer. So this will be curious. This will be curious. What happens going on in the future? Again, with all of the the pomp and circumstance with Sam Altman and Elon Musk and all that, with, again, trying to build these massive data centers. And then the question about, again, basic hardware resources. Do these companies sell to the open market? Do they sell to the customers? Do they sell to the OEMs? Or do they just sell to Meta? Do they just sell to XAI? Do they just sell to OpenAI, right? If OpenAI can come in and buy an entire lot of production, right, that's pretty hard to say no to. Wait a minute, you're just gonna buy all of our production for the next 6 months, and we don't have to do marketing, we don't have to do advertising, we've only got one customer to have to deal with. Like that's a pretty hard thing to say no to. So I'd be curious to see again how this all fleshes out again at the end of the day. And as I say, as they start to try to build more and more of these data centers, I mean, you don't think about it like with racks, like just getting your hands on racks, getting your hands on the clips. There's little clips for screwing things into racks. Those little clips. Right, the rails. Can you get your hands on enough rail? You get your rack, you get your fancy rack, you get your couple use server, and you're like, fuck, I forgot to buy the rails. And then you go to buy rails, and guess what? $4 trillion in capex expenses. That's a shit ton of rails. Sam, like you don't think about how many rails a data center consumes. Like, have you ever really thought about that? Oh, UPSs. PDUs. I mean, just think about all of this stuff that is, rather easy to get your hands on right now. And if the data centers get built the way that they're talking about, getting your hands on that type of equipment might become surprisingly difficult. So there you go. There you go. Something to think about. Something to think about with the AI boom. What do you think about this with the increase in DRAM prices? Not just DRAM prices, but also in the decrease in availability, even for people like OEMs. What do you think this is going to do with the tech industry? What is the play? What is the move here? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. If you hate these videos, give us a thumbs down. Call me amazing. Call me a dumbass. Just be a real Lutnick and do it down there in the comment section. I expect to see strong American comments down there, not no weak European comments. Anyways, what I actually care about is Silicon Dojo, free to end user hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is that you want to do in Durham, North Carolina. We're having a class on AI and SQL coming up next week. We have a class on AI and web scraping coming up on November 19th. Go to silicondojo.com to see what our current schedule is. If you want to support what I'm doing, because again, free to end users is not free. That's why I'm shaking my brain nipples here. There's a donor box link down below. Please throw a couple of dollars in. And with that, see y'all later.